TravelingMel.com.
Hey, we are on a trip through Billings and southeast Montana, and glad that you are coming with us. We're going to be exploring all these fun things to do in fall in this part of the state. And we are starting off with a trip to Zoo Montana in Billings. And we love the big enclosures, the botanical garden, of course, and that they only have animals that live north of the 45th parallel, or south, I guess, so that they can withstand Montana's winters. We're going to be doing a lot of things outside. Of course, since it's fall 2020, we're going to be social distancing and wearing masks when we're inside, and we're glad that you can join us. The Montana Audubon Center is a great place to just have some quiet time outside of Billings, to take a walk along the trails, to have a picnic, or take advantage of one of their natural playgrounds. One of the great things you can do in southeast Montana in the fall is get off the highway and take some of the byways and really soak in the fall colors. We did that, kind of ran adjacent to Highway 94 on our way out to Glendive and found this really cool fishing access. So we decided to stop and explore and look at the trees and the river and just kind of take it slow. There are a lot of really cool landscapes in southeast Montana, and some of the best, funkiest, weirdest landscapes are here at Makoshika State Park, Montana's largest state park. There's a lot of kids here too today, and they've found tons of dinosaur stuff here. So you can go through the visitor center, learn about dinosaurs. You can actually hike out and see a dinosaur fossil, and lots of cool rocks to run around on. After running around at Makoshika, but before getting our dinner in Glendive, we are checking out the Bell Street Bridge, this historic 1,300-foot long bridge, steel trusses, all that. But what's really cool is that it's a pedestrian bridge, so you can run and walk, and it's part of the bike paths, walking paths, is that there's really great wildlife watching over here in the cottonwoods, so you can stand on the bridge down at this other end and look for animals and birds. I'm a little sleepy this morning because I haven't had my caffeine, but we're about to rectify that with a stop at the Bloom Coffee House here in Glendive. And not only do they have really good drinks and yummy pastries, but it's super neat because it's inside an old greenhouse. Our second stop this morning is in Wibaux, this little town right off the highway. We're on our way to Baker, but we wanted to check out this cool old Catholic church. It looks like it's made out of lava rocks. And Wibaux was started as a town by Pierre Wibaux, who was a cattle baron. And so there's a little bit of a historic downtown and a statue, and just some other fun kind of roadside attractions to stop and check out. This is Steer, Montana. Oops, there go my glasses. And this cow traveled all over the country and people paid to see it because it was so big. And you can find Steer, Montana at the O'Fallon County Museum in Baker, Montana. And these county museums all over Montana are really cool, but the O'Fallon County Museum is one of my favorites. Not just because of the giant steer, or the two-headed calves. There's a couple, but there's a jail and the house, and there's just all kinds of interesting artifacts in here, and just seeing how people lived at a different time. So we're going to take a little tour of the O'Fallon, I think it's called Historical Center or Museum. We'll write that down for you and see what kind of treasures we can find. few miles outside of Miles City is this BLM recreational area called Matthews Recreational Area. Oh, I just saw a whole bunch of birds go by on the river. And I was gonna say it's a great spot for bird watching, like prairie species like pheasants and stuff. We think we saw a kingfisher earlier, and it's just right on the Yellowstone River with a creek coming in, so it's a nice place to hang out. There is camping, but mostly it's just a little path, and you can walk around and just soak in fall in Montana and be really socially distanced because there's nobody else here. Downtown Miles City has a lot of things to offer, so we're just spending the morning cruising around. There are this great shop behind me is antiques and vintage and rustics.
Yep.
And it's 3/4 of a block long, so it's really fun to walk through, and a cool soda fountain with really, really good pastries. And there's so much more though. There's a Montana made store, there's all kinds of different shops and boutiques. There's a really neat saddlery, and not just for saddles and tack. There's a lot of cool stuff in there for non-horse riders as well, and lots of places to eat. We really like the Montana Bar. It's the oldest bar in Montana, but it's family friendly and you can get lunch there, and just so many other places. A great park, museums. Definitely worth spending a day wandering around.
So apparently they shot their horses to build.
We are at Little Bighorn Battlefield. It's a national park site, and it is the place where one of the last battles took place between the Northern Plains people trying to preserve their ancestral way of lives and the U.S. Army. And this is the place where Custer's last stand, it used to be called, and he lost the battle. The Indians won, but not so much the war, because they obviously have not been able to keep their ancestral nomadic way of life. So we're going to explore the battlefield a little bit. There's a national cemetery here. There is an Indian memorial, and there are different grave markers all along the place, and memorials, and interpretive plaques that explain this battle that lasted several days, and a lot of people died. There are a lot of different ways that you can interpret this site or get a better understanding of what happened here, because when you look out, it just is this kind of big, beautiful valley and river, and it's a little bit hard to picture what went on here. So definitely get the map and information from the kiosk when you pay to come in. There are interpretive signs in some parts of the monument, and then other parts you can get a little brochure at the beginning of a trail and do that. There are recorded interpretive messages by different people, and you'll see places where there's a phone number, you can call it, or you can scan the code and it'll come up on your phone. So there are a lot of different ways. But my favorite way, when I was here last September, we did a tour with Rose from Indian Battle Tours, and she was amazing. She's a member of the Crow tribe, and she just explained everything, and her voice was beautiful. But just being able to listen to someone talk, to ask questions, and have her point out places on the land where things happened really made this a whole new experience for me, because I've been here several times, and it really just brought the whole thing to life. We're wrapping up this video of Southeast Montana and wrapping up our tour here in Billings. Billings is Montana's trailhead, and it's a great trailhead or base camp for exploring all of Southeast Montana. There's a lot to do here, which you can see. I have several blog posts on them, on Billings, that I'll link below. But we're at Petroglyph State Park right now. There's Four Dances Natural Area, museums, restaurants, tons of restaurants, and really good food. We've been traveling in the spring fall of 2020, so during the pandemic. And so we've been doing all the things that we should be doing. We're wearing masks inside. We are washing our hands a lot, which you should do anyway. And keeping social distance between people when we're outside and inside. And it hasn't really changed our trip at all. Like, we're thinking ahead and planning and making sure things are open, just like you should. But there's still so much to do and so much outdoors and so many safe indoor places to go to that it's really been a great visit. So if you want to know more, I will have a pretty detailed itinerary, where to stay, where to eat, what to do, all that kind of stuff in the blog post that I'll link below. And it will be good if you're traveling during a pandemic or if you're not, because it's just a great place to get out and explore no matter what.